So I watched Ghost, as you see here. I am holding the Blu-ray. Now I just want to do a little public service announcement before I start the review. I made a New Year's resolution. I know, I'm one of those dorks who did that. But I did a New Year's resolution, and my resolution was to use less big tech companies especially, or just big companies in general. Companies like Facebook, Amazon, Google, Disney, stuff like that. I'm trying to avoid those companies as much as possible for the new year. Reason for that being, well, there's two reasons actually. Reason number one, they've come to the point where they're so powerful and what they're doing ethically is a little questionable to me, to the point where I'm like, if I can find alternatives, I'll look for alternatives. Second of all, we live in a day and age because of coronavirus where it's super important to support small businesses. Remember, supporting small businesses, it's like you're putting food on someone's table, you know? So you really gotta watch out for that and make sure you support local food, support local shops as well. And I used to get all my movies on Amazon. I would just go on Amazon.com and rent a movie. You could rent it there for $4. And instead, this time, I think I am going to just go with Blu-ray from now on. First of all, the quality is better. Where I live in like a small town, so the Wi-Fi isn't the best here. So that's one thing. But I don't even mind picture quality that much. Sometimes the audio quality tends to be a little bad too, and I don't like that as much. But also, this is a neat little shop. It's close to where I live. It's called Bull Moose, and they're all over New England. It's not exclusive to my area. But they're all over New England, and they sell used Blu-rays. And you can see the price here. It's like $8. And if you rent a movie on Amazon Prime, it's $4. And you only get it for 48 hours. Versus this, you get it for your whole life. It never goes bad. So that's just something about me. I'm giving you a little window into my personal life. Trying to spend less money on stuff like Amazon and Facebook. So instead, I think I'm going to go physical media. I'm probably one of the few people who was a digital person and then was like, nah, I think I'm going to go physical. I did like the opposite of what everyone else is doing. So, yeah, I thought I'd throw that out there. It's a little interesting tidbit about me. Ghost stars Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore. Follows the story of a couple. The boyfriend in the couple gets shot and becomes a ghost. And he tries to communicate with his girlfriend, but he is unable to because she can't hear him. But he meets a clairvoyant by the name of Whoopi Goldberg. That's not her name in the movie, but it's her name in real life. And she acts like a medium between Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze. Now, this is directed by Jerry Zucker, one of the Zucker brothers. If you don't know who the Zucker brothers are, they directed Airplane, Top Secret, the Naked Gun movies. They're mostly involved with spoof movies, and obviously Ghost is not a spoof movie, so it was quite a departure for Jerry Zucker. But this movie really works. And as I was watching this movie, it's such a simple movie. It's such a simple premise to it, but it works so well, you know? And they don't make movies like that anymore. I feel like nowadays it's the big studio system, the big blockbusters, and there's very little room for this kind of movie, which is like a mid-budget movie. It's like a conventional film, straightforward narrative. A little more budget than your average movie, but still not high budget. And I really long for that kind of movie. It was big in the 90s, even in the early 2000s, but starting the late 2000s to today, it kind of became these big movies, and movies where there has to be an action scene, and it has to be this, and you have to hit these beats, and it feels like a studio is making it. This, it just feels like a nice, simplistic, straightforward story. And it's a bit schmaltzy. It is. But it totally works for this movie. The performances here, all stellar. Patrick Swayze, Gone Too Soon. Demi Moore, very good in this movie. The one who steals the show here, and the one who actually won an Oscar for their performance here, is Whoopi Goldberg. She plays the clairvoyant. She's very sassy, very funny. One might think she's a black stereotype, but I don't really think so. She does some things that are considered a black stereotype, but to me the character is more than just a stereotype. She's a very competent character. She has a nice arc in this movie. She starts off as like this scam artist, this sleazeball. She is faking seeing apparitions just to get a quick buck. And throughout the movie, she becomes more and more generous till the end. She's literally holding $4 million in her hands, and she's like, oh, fuck, I gotta give it, and she gives it away. She has a nice little arc in this movie. Everyone has a nice arc in this movie. That's what I mean. It's just a very solid movie. And this movie doesn't try to shoot for the moon, you know? It's not trying to be Apocalypse Now or The Godfather. What it is, it's a straightforward narrative told extremely well. And I feel like there's not much room for that kind of movie in Hollywood anymore. Just like straightforward movies that are done like extremely well. Like some movies I can think of recently that gave me that vibe. Upgrade, which was not a romantic film, obviously, it's an action film. But that's what I mean. Just like such a simple story, but told very effectively. And that's what the movie gave me. Everything about this movie is just so cozy. It's one of those movies, you watch it on a rainy day, get the family together, and you just watch this movie. Because I watched it with my family when I was younger. I watched it at a very young age. I was scared of the part where the monsters devour the bad guys at the end. Like the scary monsters. I thought that was scary when I was a kid. I watch it now and I'm like, that looks pretty fake, but it's 1990. I mean, I can't get too picky here. But yeah, one of those movies, you watch it with the family on a rainy day, and it's like a universal film. Younger generations will like it, older generations will like it. This really is a timeless film. And I know what you're thinking, Paul, you're a wussy, you're liking this. Look at the cover of this movie. It looks like this. You're like, Paul, you're a wussy. But I'm like, no, I'm not a wussy. This is an actually good movie. Like, some corny bits, obviously. It is a romantic film. But just a very solid movie with a very solid narrative. And Whoopi Goldberg is an actress that goes under the radar, in my opinion. Because she won an Oscar for this movie. And she's a really talented person. She was also in Sister Act and Sister Act 2, which I actually like Sister Act 2. I'm the only person who likes Sister Act 2, but I'm a little biased because I really like Lauryn Hill, and she was in that movie. Rapper slash actress, more powerful than two Cleopatras. Anyway, where am I going with this? Whoopi Goldberg is a really good actress, and most people just know her nowadays for being on The View, which is probably one of the worst shows ever. Period. It's literally a show where 5 old women, sit around a couch and like bitch at each other. I don't understand why anyone would choose to watch The View. I spend most of my life trying to avoid women complaining, but here it is on frickin' TV, and people actually avidly go out of their way to watch it. It's confusing to me, and part of me wishes Whoopi Goldberg just, like, stuck to acting instead of doing this stupid show. You know what? She's an old actress. Probably the roles aren't rolling in like they used to. Obviously, it's an easy thing to do, to like when you're at that age, to just sit on a couch and talk over women. It's an easy job to have. It's an easy gig. Who am I to judge? I don't have a show on TV, you know? But, yeah. Whoopi Goldberg, please make another movie. Just one more movie. I like you. You're okay in my books. I don't like many people, but you're okay. So Ghost, very romantic movie. It has that scene with the Righteous Brothers. Oh, my love, my darling. Yeah. So this is a very romantic movie, so if I'm going to put it on the love meter, this is about a 78 80% on the love meter. I'm doing it now, 80% on the love meter. Yeah, this will make you in love. It's a famous movie. You've probably seen it already, but I just wanted to revisit it, and I thought this was a very good movie.